these are literally tailored masks. So you measure from the tip of your nose to the tip of your chin. And in my case, the tip of my nose to the tip of my chin is 3 inches. And so that's how this one's going to be custom. The fabric pieces are 11 inches by 9 inches. And then I marked 2 inches on each corner and cut diagonally to remove the bulk. The top layer is actually the one sandwiched in the middle. So that's the front layer that's going to be outside facing everyone. Then this is the layer that's going to be inside, and that's the layer that I want literally touching my lips. Underneath your top layer is the filter fabric, and I'll tell you the lengths of everything. My elastic I have at 8 inches, and there's 2 pieces because I have 2 ears. Then this piece right here is a little more than 5 inches. It's 5.5 inches. Now you'll see that it barely is smaller than my ribbon, so I am going to cut this just a little bit smaller. And yes, my scissors actually cut this. I'll cut that just a little bit smaller, and then I just rub it on the craft mat to make sure there's no rough edges. That way I know it'll fit inside when I stitch it. Yeah, that's good. Here, again, the length of it, 5.5 inches. My looped metal is 4 inches. Now let's just go ahead and make it. I do not use push pins. Why don't I use push pins? Because my filter media is down to 0.3 micron. I am not a great sewer. In fact, it freaking kills my head. If it matters what side is up or down, keep an eye on that on your fabric. I am using just a straight stitch. Now again, this is the side touching my face, and this is the side that's going to be out to the people. I just want to line it up and square it all up for my stitching. Now I want to start here because this side and this side are going to be left open for when I turn it back the right way. Make sure it's all lined up. Because I'm not using pens, my fabric moves a little bit, but this is my mask and I'm not going to worry about it too much. Yeah, I have about 1/4 inch seam, but I'm not a great sewer, so you can see how crooked it is all the way around. Now again, I'm missing the sides. I'm just doing the top 3 points. I'm going to go and flip it around. That stays open, then I start here again. Now you reach in and you want to go in between the 2 fabric layers so you can see your 2 fabrics, not the filter. And then turn it all the way through. So this is the side I want next to my face. This is the side to the outside. Make sure all your corners are popped out nicely. And this is the top, that's the bottom, so I want to go ahead and put this into the bottom. I'm leaving that pocket open because I want to be able to remove it and replace it if I need to. If it's for a kid or something, then you probably want to seal it up or question whether or not you want to put the metal in there. It depends on the age of the child, but that's up to you. You're the parent. All right. And so I have the big flat metal at the top, again, making sure because you don't want to mess that up. Now, if you want to stitch it and you've messed up, it actually looks nice if you stitch it now and you get the two little lines on the front. So that does look nice and it's fun. I'm going to go ahead and stitch this now closed. I do want to stitch it from the looking at the outside, what people will see. And the reason I want to do that is because this is the stitch that the person who receives it, if you're making it as a gift, will see. And don't forget to backstitch to start and finish every stitch. And trim off your excess. We'll do the same here. The reason I'm using red thread is because that's kind of my signature. And you can see the stitch very well. Because I personally think that when things are handmade, it's nice to see it. Even if something's a little wonky. You want to make sure that if you have any fabrics, that your top is facing up right now, because that does matter. Because you want the flat one to be where your nose is. When you have measured and you know that your nose is 3 inches from the tip of your nose to the tip of your chin, you can see from the point of the nose to the point of the chin. That's why I say measure at 3 inches. If you're 4 inches, then you want it to be a little bit longer. 3.5. I mean, you can tailor it to whatever size the person is. And so all that happens is this part by the nose gets smaller. Well, my nose is 3 inches, and so I want to fold this here. And then the bottom of it, I am going to make sure that I come all the way up at the bottom, and you can use your ruler. I am going to stitch right there. Okay, now we want the 3 inches. I'm going to get to the 3 here and here. And again, because I am not using pens, I'm just using my fingers, and I am just hand pressing this to get a crease. I'm also visualizing where my little marks are. So I know that this goes here, and down at the bottom it's stopping right there, so I'm good. And here's my 3 inches. Oh, look at that, I didn't go backwards. I live with a permanent migraine, so this is not the easiest thing on the brain to do, you can just imagine. So right now, this is what I have for my inside. You can see that my edges aren't finished. So I am going to... Now, because I chose lace, I want to fold my lace in half so I don't accidentally stitch it. You can put it in there later, but for me personally, I like to put it in early. So I'm going to stitch this in and do my best not to stitch over my lace. And then I fold this over like that, trying to keep it flat. I'll do this side. And again, I don't want to stitch the lace. So I'm going to lay it really carefully. And I fold it over. And then tug it backwards to try. It's a little easier if you have elastic, but I don't have any elastic left. So I get what I get. I can pull them, and that's how you know you didn't stitch it. So now I'm just going to fold this up on the inside and this one up on the inside, trying to make it square to this edge. Same on the other side, and you literally are almost done. Wait until you see how well this fits. Okay, and your mask is finished. Now, because of the kind of filter that I have, I can actually iron this and sanitize it and reuse the mask. Or if you don't have access to filters, then use this as 2 layers of cotton. So tie both of them in your knot like this, like you're tying a balloon. I don't know, how do you guys tie balloons? How I tie balloons. And now I want to hide this knot. Don't want people to see the knot. So I make it as tiny as I can, and then now I just hide it inside. Tiny as I can. Oh, come now, there we go. Hide it inside. And your mask is finished. Bottom and the top, and I will show you what it looks like on. I'll show you how easy it is to put the mask on and off. It's like this. I have the metal at the top, and it's a very tight fit. And it's a nice tight fit on the bottom because you have that little bit of wire there, and a nice tight fit on the sides. Okay, thanks everyone. Take care.